5 tips to make a positive first impression at your new job. Welcome back everyone, this is Victoria from SiteHunt. Today in this video I'm going to give you the 5 best tips to leave a good first impression at your new job. So whether you're meeting someone at an event or you're going on a date or you're just attending a job interview, all of us want to leave a good first impression. Why? Research shows that it only takes a few seconds for someone to form an opinion of you. And congratulations, you finally got the job you wanted, all the hard work and preparation finally paid off, and you're excited to start working. In most cases, the first weeks, or let's say the first month at a new job, can be thrilling, but also quite stressful. Everyone tells you just relax, everything is going to be okay, but actually in order to leave a good first impression, you need a decent preparation. So you would like to impress your new employer, manager, and even new co-workers. So it takes a few methods to follow in order to leave a good impression with your new boss and also with your new co-workers. So that's why in this video I'm going to give you the 5 best tips in order to make the most out of your first days at a new job. My first tip for you in order to leave a great first impression with your new employer is to show up early and be on time. So demonstrating basic time management skills is crucial for building a good first impression. There should be absolutely no valid reason for you to be late during your first day at work or even during the first week or first month of work. Even if you want to leave a better impression, I would suggest you to show up earlier at work, at least a bit earlier than others, in order to get settled, review what needs to be done, and organize your schedule. Because as a newbie and during your transition period, you're not aware of the volume of work you're going to have and the overall organizational procedures, I would suggest you to just show up earlier because this will give you enough time to organize your schedule, get settled, and just plan your work agenda. Even though your company might have flexible working hours, as many companies are doing nowadays, you want to play it safe during your first weeks of work. The second tip, also very important to building a great first impression, is to ask thoughtful questions. So asking good questions and active listening is another great way to leave a perfect first impression because it speaks about your eagerness to learn. In other words, willingness to learn and adapting to changes are actually one of the key traits of a perfect employee. One way to do this is to prepare good questions to ask your boss, supervisor, or your co-workers. This can happen during your initial meetings. Usually at the beginning of your work, you have certain meetings with your manager. So during these meetings, you can use your time wisely to ask nice questions. For example, you can ask your boss, how do you see me spending my time during the first week or first week of work? Also, you can ask, is it possible to have 1 or 2 days per week to work from home because of certain reason? Regarding your co-workers, it's always a good idea to ask for help or advice if you're unsure how certain task needs to be completed. So also, during preparing your questions and getting your answers, it's a nice idea to just write your answers down because it shows that you are serious about learning and you're going to take this advice into consideration later on in practice. The third tip to leave a great first impression at a new job is to take initiative. So, another great way to just build this impression with your new manager or even your new co-workers, only if you're not super shy, is to volunteer to do certain tasks. So whenever your manager or even your co-workers want or need some help for a certain task, you can just volunteer to do it. Even though you might be unsure how to complete a certain task, the quickest way to learn is actually by doing it. why this is a good period for you to volunteer. During your transition period, even if you make a mistake for a certain task, it won't be taken for granted because it will be super understood by your manager that you're still learning and you're in your transition period. Another way, or let's say non so formal way to express initiative is to introduce yourself to the new employees, new coworkers, or let's say people who don't know you yet at your new job. Also, you can join them, for example, during a coffee or lunch break, or even join some after work events. So these are great ways to express initiative because it speaks about your personality. It speaks that you are curious, enthusiastic, and also responsible individual. My fourth tip for you in order to build a great first impression is to listen more and talk less. If you want to make the best out of your first days at work, I would suggest you to spend most of your time in listening or active listening during your meetings with your boss, customers, or even co-workers, showing them that you're actually listening with paying attention without being distracted. Usually, during your first weeks of work, you should spend most of your time in listening and much less in talking. Why? In most cases, during your transition period, if you want to suggest new ideas, you need to be super careful about them because they might still be considered premature or too fresh to be considered by your employer. While your boss and your coworkers might be open to hear your ideas, still I would suggest you to just leave it some time until your transition period is over. So in order to make the most out of the first period during these days of work, I would suggest you to focus on your job, doing it as specified, and also slowly building relationships. And my final or fifth tip for you in order to make this great first impression at your new job is to offer to help. So if you really want to build great impression between your co-workers, is just to show a kindness and that you are helpful. For example, if your co-workers need certain advice or maybe they need certain help, I would suggest you to just be careful to offer help whenever possible. So this actually speaks about your personality and the fact that you possess team working skills. So offering to help is just another great way to present yourself in the best way, not only among your coworkers, but also to your manager. And good luck with your new job. Thank you very much guys for watching this video to the very end. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to our channel. And my question today for you is, what is your number one tip for building a positive first impression at your new work?